Ah, lovely. Somebody said they were missing the fake laugh. So, I was doing a fake laugh some hangouts, so many hangouts ago, to show how easy it is to manipulate people. You start off, hey, so funny, nice and ugly. So, anyway, I thought I would do this. I was watching something earlier today. Watched one. I've seen these before, but I revisited, and I thought not enough people give this guy credit. There'll be people in the chat who don't even know who this guy is. Yes, there'll be people in the chat who call themselves flat earthers, or maybe not in the chat, but who will view this, who won't know who he is, because the main channels sideline this guy. So, if you're a flat earther, this is for you. If you're a flat earther and you don't know your history, this is for you. Enjoy.
Okay, pause. We're all looking at the screen now. We fucking hear everything through the light bulbs, by the way? Conspiracy theory, I could do that. I could use a nanobio fucking camera filament and put in light bulbs and film it. I could do that. If I could think it, you better hope nobody's got the budget. All right, so here you go. What is this? This is the picture of the Earth. I like the first video. That was very great. The video just before there, it's like, what was that about, that video? Was it? That was about brainwashing. How do you brainwash? Well, you repeat it. You repeat the same thing over and over again. You know, if somebody's resisting the concept, if you keep fucking repeating it, after 6 times, they'll incorporate it in their brain. They may not agree with it, but repeat it another 1,000 times, they'll start saying it. I could start a campaign called Wah-Pat-Pat for like fucking $4 billion this week. And in like 24 hours through Twitter, everybody could be walking around going Wah-Pat-Pat, Wah-Pat-Pat. Okay, so here's the picture of the Earth from space. There it is. Since you were a kid, you've seen this image. But you've never seen it from that point of view. You've never seen that with your eyes from that scale of a model, that point of view from outside of the planet's surface. But your brain has three-dimensionalized, oh yeah, that's the Earth. How? Through repetition. Next image. How do we get to this point of the image? This is fucking funny. I think this is funny. Next image. Well, here's the first image that sold the whole thing. As you can see, that's clearly the universe. I mean, that's clearly the universe. I swear to God. I mean, there's the sun. I mean, I could recognize that thing. It's a bullseye. It's like a planet. It's an egg. Whatever. But there you go. You got each rung, the whole thing. 1482. This is when they came up with this idea. We are on that thing. It's a ball. Hey, we should go to the North and the South Pole. We didn't do it yet. It's a fucking ball. Hey, nobody's even jumped up high enough to see if it is a ball. You can't do that. We don't have planes yet. It's a ball. You know what? We adopted this whole model like 400 or 500 years before the airplane. 400 years before the airplane, pretty much. Like beginning in the 1900s. They went to the North Pole in the 1900s. This is 1482. Nobody went to the top of the globe, to the bottom, or flew up, or built a skyscraper. That's it. It's been a decade since, Columbus hit America. That's it. You had Spinoza, Leibniz. Everybody was fighting to say what the fuck we were on, how much land there really was. Real estate, right? Real estate. The only commodity that appreciates besides art. Right? These are the only things that appreciate. Everything's depreciating except those two. It's funny how these two are going to meet and what I'm going to talk about. Next image. It's funny that we said that this is This is what we're in right now. This is what we're on before any instrument approved. Until, pause. Can we do it? It's funny, back in the 60s when they went to the moon, this is the first time we actually had like an instrument of flight to actually go high enough to actually fucking check out if what we agreed to 500 years ago was real. So if they were wrong after 500 years, the question is, would they tell you? University institutions, physics, the Royal Society in London, that's of course NASA, Newtonian physics, why objects move on a ball spinning 1,000 miles an hour while it's going 26,000 miles around the sun. It's basically the model we accepted right now. I don't feel it's spinning 1,000 miles an hour right now. Oh, that's because of gravity. Hey, gravity, what's that? That's the thing you can't feel. Oh yeah, can you prove that in an equation? Yeah, I can prove that in an equation. It took Newton like a book 3 times thicker than the Bible, and he still couldn't finish his equation on how to prove gravity. He would try to prove gravity when you read Newton's book of Principia through like Stephen Hawking. Or if you even find the original book, he would prove by saying that everything started with the word if. If you fucking take Newton's book of, like, if the earth is a ball and objects are being thrown this way, blah, 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 you know, that means that we're spinning at this amount of velocity and you can't feel it, and why the objects don't go flying off into the universe is because of gravity, because of a vacuum system of air pressure. I mean, he went to hyperbole, into ifs. I mean, if you were to highlight every time the word if came up in Newton's book of physics, you could fucking use it as a flashlight in a dark room, man. It's like, it's like you fucking get out of the cave with the amount of times if is highlighted in this fucking book on physics. It's like if is every... Here's like a perfect example of them landing on the moon. I mean, it's proof right there. This is an official NASA photo of the first Apollo 11 lunar module landing on the moon. I mean, it's right there. This is proof, man. It's the picture's right there. It's landing on the moon. But the only problem I have with this picture is that it's taken from the moon. I don't know what the big deal was with being the first guy on the moon. It seems the camera crew was already there. The fucking tripod. Camera A, B, C. You know, back in the 60s, I mean, I know people who believe they saw the landing on the moon because they heard it on the radio. Don't get in here, they're on the moon, I can hear the dust. My God, I can hear him walk. He's walking slow. There's zero gravity up there. Jesus, they're on there now. They're on there now. I could just see a guy in a sound studio just taking fucking, like a bag of salt going, whoosh, landing on the wooden floor and just going, oh my God, they're there. They're on it right now. Ethel, get in here. Like, how'd you know? There was no independent telescope to even, like, say they went to the moon. The only telescopes that could actually film it were NASA telescopes. Yeah, according to the people who landed on the moon, they landed on the moon. Nobody else could fucking check it out. So there it is. That's a fucking photo. There it is landing for the first time, but how? How? Next photo. It's funny how NASA gives us these little pictures, eh? Every week there's a little NASA photo, what they're up to, just to keep you fucking nursing off the teat or whatever. This is an amazing monumental sort of feat of space exploration. This is the Galileo satellite. Full authentic NASA imagery of the Galileo satellite. Must have cost like $1 trillion for this fucking operation. Very expensive. This is the Galileo satellite. They never knew it would go that far and reach Jupiter. You know, they didn't know. It's the first time anything goes that far. It managed to get there. There's Jupiter. There's one of its moons. I mean, it's clearly lining up to take some really good photos of Jupiter. Immediately followed by a camera satellite. Perfectly composing the whole shot out in outer space. Amazing, eh? What the cameras could do when they fly. It's into outer space, a place we've never been to. That's amazing. Look at that. That's perfect. That's like the photo of the year, if you ask me. For a fucking satellite to be able to, like, like wake up in outer space, we didn't even know we could do that, and unbelievable. I give it to NASA. Let's go to another photo here. Another photo. This is good too. Oh, let's zoom in. I love that iMovie sort of effect. I'm really in the gas. But how am I supposed to go? Yeah, that's the Earth. From there, That point of view I've never seen. And it's funny when you click on Google Images, photo of the Earth, keep going. Because this is realistic. But you'll see 40 pages on Google. But it's always the same fucking photo. It's the same photo. They just changed the contrast. Check it out, keep going. Oh yeah, boom, 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 40 pages. Look closely. It's always the same. Oh, what is that? I guess this is a photo of the Hubble telescope taking a picture of itself. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's an authentic photo of the Hubble telescope out there doing its job. Isn't that amazing how they could take a photo of the thing taking photos? Out in outer space. Unbelievable. You know, they never crossed Antarctica, but let's go to the moon and take pictures of shit out in space. That's fucking unbelievable. You know, the instruments won't work in Antarctica. It's too fucking cold, but hey, let's go somewhere where we don't know the instruments will work. That's unbelievable. I can't, it just boggles my mind how they do this stuff. All right, next one, solar powered, by the way, solar powered. Look at that, environmental. Environmental in outer space. Okay, that's my only fucking fan right there. Naomi, that's it, there you go. There you go, there's what you believe. That's it, that point of view you've never seen. It's fucking funny, huh? I think it's funny. You've never seen that, but everybody goes, yeah, prends ça pour acquis. Ah oui, c'est ça. L'affaire que j'ai jamais vue. It's funny, eh? You should think about these things, right? I heard that, you know, if you want to like program a human mind, what you do is you just repeat images to a young child while the brain is forming. Yeah, pretty much. And then, you know, the kid fucking grows up and you've wired the kid. It's fucking mind control. It's great. But it's an example. Hey, I could be wrong. There could have been a camera rocket that got there on the moon, set up, pulled out like a lens, and then filmed it. And processed 35 millimeter black and white film in an atmosphere. We don't know if cameras will work. All right, so anyways, next photo. Hey, it's possible. Those guys are so ahead. They don't tell us, right? There you go again. Same fucking thing, same cloud patterns, always the same cloud patterns. Ooh, so many images of the Earth. No, it's the same one. It's Africa. Okay, I want to test you guys. Because some of you guys are like, they're not convinced yet. That's the Earth, man. Don't fuck with that shit. So let's do a little test on perception. I'm going to show you a couple of images here, and then you tell me which one of the following images on the screen is an image of a painting painted by hand that looks real, or is an image taken by a camera of something that actually exists. So image or photo, painting or photo. Let's try this. So first image here. How many people think that this is a painting? Please, come on. Give yourselves credit. It's okay, you can jump in, take a decision. 5+, how many people think this is a photo? For you, I will say that that's real. That's good for you. You were horribly wrong. That is a painting. That's obviously a painting, right? I mean, look at this fucking Sunday painting. Bad. It's like Bob Ross did it. And he was on acid. It was like, you make a nice little mountain. And then some trees and some fluffy bushes. Fluffy bushes. Fluffy bushes. This is the dirtiest part of my show. All right, next. How many people think this is a painting by applause? Come on, you can do this. You can use your eyes. By applause. How many people think this is a photo? But of what? This is a painting. Those who said it's a painting, you're right. Of what? What would that be if that was a fucking photo? Okay, by applause, how many people think this is a painting? By applause, how many people think this is a photo? It's a painting. I did it. Okay, here, by applause. This is a bit technical here. How many people think that this is a painting? By applause. How many people, by applause, think this is a photo of toys that are painted? This is a painting of toys that are painted. Cesar Santander, European artist, high realist. How many people think this is a painting? By applause. Okay, by applause, how many people think this is a photo? Those said it's a photo, you're close. All right. Okay, by applause, how many people think this is a painting? How many think this is a photo? This is a painting. I did it. I fucking did that. Money on steroids. No, that's a fucking. I swear to God. Next. So I know what I'm talking about. This is an official NASA photo of the North Pole. Go back. What is that? Is that you? Or is that the? Okay, go back to to the other one. Go back to the other one. Go back to the other one. Okay, this is an official. Sorry to give you shit there, Dan. You're doing a great job. But this is an official. This is an authentic, apparently from NASA. This is an authentic NASA photo of the Arctic, the North Pole. By applause. How many people think that this is a painting? By applause. How many people think this is bullshit? There we go. That's Europe. The sun's hitting it. Applause. You think that's a photo? Well, satellite imagery, man. There's infrared and shit. All right, next image. This is Alilapia. Next image. This is Alilapia without an Adobe Photoshop shading. And this is the texture that I cut out with a circle to create the fake fucking moon called Alilapia. Are you telling me that we just gotta take black construction paper, cut out a circle, put it on fucking peanut butter and jam spills, and say, hey, it's Ipapopo? And you fucking swallow that shit every day? It's funny, I do this today because you saw the Google today, they had the Hubble telescope. It looked like a kid's drawing. Did you fucking see that today? That's why I'm doing this today. So this is the next one, you can go to the next one. That's it. I mean, I just take out, I say it's not a circle. It's not a sphere. Right away, what do you have in your brain? Well, you think it's flat and there's water falling off into the fucking outer space like Bugs Bunny. So either you have a square or a circle in your head. It's either Coke or Pepsi with the shape of the planet. What if it's bigger? What if there's more land that they're hiding from?
So, when was that posted? Published October 26, 2011. The next day, this one was published.
This is a great painting. It's supposed to be Jupiter. It's funny, any telescope you try to get, the high-powered digital telescope, you won't see this. You won't go, oh, wow, it's exactly... They'll show you a little light. You'll never see this. This is like you gotta get the big fucking telescopes. And then if you shoot at fucking Jupiter, I've talked to these guys, these astronomers, and they're like, oh, man, no, it takes like... How long does it take to get the photo after you point it at Jupiter? It takes about 2 years. They just like, we just point it, we put it in our quadrants and our coordinates, and we don't get the image until 2 years. And it took me 2 years to even access that telescope. I was like, oh my God, that is like 5 years down the tube, man. Like, for all you know, it's like, that's it. I mean, I think this is just paint spilt and bleeding into itself. Nice little images that they make at Area 51. All right, but they make you think it's saucers. Area 51's all these spaceships. They got aliens down there, man. They're landing on this planet. All right. Oh, this is an actual... Okay, so that one was Jupiter. This is Io, the moon of Jupiter. Am I lying? By applause. By applause. Am I lying? Is this like... Did I make this moon up? This planet up? Did I make this... Is this a homemade moon? By applause? Okay, by applause if you think this is really Io, the distant moon of Venus. No. This is a fucking actual moon of Jupiter called Io, NASA. I think it's just a close-up on bad acne. You know, and then he just ran it through like a saturation yellow filter on Adobe. You know what I'm saying? That's not an Adobe crowd. Do you remember when Pluto was a planet?
Yeah.
What happened to that shit? We were at 9 planets, and now we're at 8? Like, and everybody's like, oh, okay, we were off on our solar system. We're not 9 planets, we're 8. That's fucked up. I'm sorry. I noticed that. Everybody else went back to bed. You know, like we're saying, it's 9 planets going around the sun. And then suddenly, like in the year 2000, what? 7, 8? After fucking Y2K, we fucked up. Pluto's not a planet. That's no. You don't fuck up on planets. You can't fucking tell me for 500 years that there's 9 fucking planets and then just try to slip it into the Yahoo front page. We discovered Pluto's too small to be a planet. Sorry, we fucked up. There's only 8. Like, come on, you can't just do that and I go, suck my thumb and, you know, eat your fucking shit pablum. There's no fucking way. What about the guy who works at NASA and he just studied Pluto? That's all he fucking learned. He went to university. This poor sucker. What's he doing now? He's fucking on the street, penniless. There's nothing to do. He just studied one fucking planet. You know how they become specific in their physics and they study a planet from a picture they've never fucking seen? They're like, I'm an expert on Jupiter, man. No, I know Mercury inside out. I fucking find out the news. It's like, what are you doing here, man? I came in for work. Dude, didn't you hear the news? What? Pluto's not a planet, man. You were off, man. You were fucking way off. It's a moon. You screwed up. It's too small. Well, the light emissions were big enough to be called a planet. Because apparently, that light in the sky, they were saying was that picture they've been feeding you as Pluto. Suddenly one day, diminished rapidly. So they had to come up with something real fucking quick, because that thing they fucking pointed at the sky, that's Pluto. That's moving around. It's like, suddenly one day everybody's like, hey, what happened to the light on Pluto? It's like, did that bulb go out? And then there was a big debate. Well, we can't decide whether it's a planet based on how much light we see. This is ridiculous. You got to give us more to work on. Like a rocket that sends us there to check out to see if it's big enough to be a fucking planet. You know, like, nobody's going out to this shit. They're just taking NASA's. I mean, one day NASA could come out and say something on fucking Yahoo, and we'd all be like repeating it. Like, we'd just be like, yeah. It's like, we found a distant planet off the distant moon Io of Jupiter. And I'd be like, wait a minute, are you saying, there'd be a bunch of fucking Star Trek physics nerds at NASA going, wait a minute, are you saying that moons can have their own planets? That's fucking crazy. You saying planets can revolve around moons now? Oh my God, planets can revolve around moons, and they'd be flipping out. Oh, maybe we can. Moons have planets too, man. It just keeps going. This is a moon they discovered off of Mars. And we say Opipapa, and if you do a close-up on it, you see all the craters and the texture of the moon on my shirt. There it is. It's just that. It's just a bunch of paint. Next image. I'm having too much fun up here. You guys should fucking join me. All right, so there you go again. I mean, is this a painting or is this a cartoon? Fucking challenging the whole thing, eh? It's like, wait a minute, you're saying that's a drawing? How are you gonna know? Next image. Do we got another one after this? Oh, this is amazing. Slow it. Pause it. This is unbelievable because they got a really distant shot into the quasar. Was it the Sirius quadrant? It's like a galaxy, a couple galaxies over to the left. Unbelievable stuff. They got some amazing photos of supernovas. They're suns, basically, that are actually exploding or being created. And this, they've never seen this before. This many suns actually colliding and exploding in their creation process all at the same time. And they actually came up with a new term for it. It's a collisionary supernova. Unbelievable that they actually caught this. If you get a zoom in on this, there's a zoom in that Hubble did on this. These are actual fucking suns being formed. Unbelievable. Look at this. All these fucking suns. Can we get another? Keep going. And they're being formed on a Christmas tree. Next one. Unbelievable. How many? Oh, this is amazing. We just went to Mars. Hey, big round of applause now for the Americans go to Mars. And this is the official image of them landing there. It's fucking funny. It's like, isn't it amazing how they were landing there and they already had an airbrush artist with his easel set up to paint it land that quick. It's like unbelievable. How many believe this is real? This is the official landing. Oh, then they got another one with a metal sort of pipe and sand in black and white. That's proof. They were there, man. They're landing on the sand. Check it out. That's it. There you go. Some more images. This is what they're doing on Mars right now. Moving around with their little rover. That's a real photo. Look at that. This is another. I swear to God, they're on Mars right now. Look at that. This thing's moving around. I don't even know what it does. It's like a weird sort of sample collector. It's a spider. It's a spider sampler. It's a spider sampler. Sand sampler. It's a sand sampler. They call it.
It's getting spice.
It's getting spices from Mars. Yeah. Go to the next one. They're on Mars. That's unbelievable. Big round of applause for the Americans finally accomplishing something. That's amazing. And this is it. This is what. Pause right here. This is what's amazing. I was trying to figure out, like, they brag about, like, at what distance the Hubble telescope can, like, get a picture of space. And I want to know what was the furthest this thing could, like, get a picture. of our universe, right? And this is it. It's is that 14 billion? It's 14 billion. 14 billion light years, which is unbelievable if you know light years. And I know this is a light year crowd. I could tell, like you guys. But right, 14 billion light years. That's unbelievable that a camera would get that distance. The only problem is that I never measured distance in time. I'd never gone up to somebody and said, like, how tall are you? Oh, I'm 42 years old. That's the only problem here is they make it, they bamboozle you. First with the whole concept of, like, what's the furthest distance? Oh, that's 14 billion light years. Okay, in kilometers? Oh man, that's difficult. I mean, we're talking light years. This is really fucking far, and we're at 14 billion of them. Do you want to know how much one light year is? And so then I did the research. One light year out of the 14 billion light years is, I don't even think we have a fucking name for this number, do we? That's what is that? That's we got a billion here, and that's like 10 trillion? 10 trillion kilometers is one light year. This is where the math becomes intimidating. You just give up and you go, you're right, NASA. You've got so many fucking zeros. I wish I could get a fucking paid a check like that. That's fucking, what is this, the Matrix? What am I looking at here? I'm like, where's Neo? You know, like, you want the red pill or the blue pill? You know, like, what is this? Like, and then this is what I times it. So I 14 billion times 10 trillion fucking kilometers fucking gives me, you just give up. You're like,
That was uploaded 27th of October 2011. Let's go into the channel itself. Videos. "31,000 subscribers, by the way. Why so few? Well, to keep the channel from reaching more people. That's why. In fact, I will go here to about. The channel was joined April 5th, 2011. Before this, he had another channel that was killed. Then he started this channel. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Naboo. I did this before in a previous video on my previous channel, which was killed. Let's have a look at this one. There you go, Planet Naboo. I mean, they've even coloured the atmosphere, you know, for the refraction. That's Planet Naboo. Let's see if we get any flybys. No. Okay. Let's look at another one. No, rubbish. Okay. Let's look at Space Battle of Naboo. Good lord. Let's look at let's look for Dune. Dune. Wait. Planet. Let's have a look, see. Oops. There you go. There's Planet Dune. That's right. Sure, it's from fantasy story. But there you go. Real, see? Real, definitely real. I mean, look at that. Look at that contrast. Look at that fading into the shadow, you know. That's and stars and everything. Absolutely fantastic. Now let's do Naboo Planet. Sorry. Naboo Planet. Oh, there you go. Look. Definitely. Like, watch. There. Looks pretty real to me. Must be real. I mean, it must be real. Because, like, it looks real. So it must be real. Let's say Star Wars planets. Let's see. Could planets from Star Wars really exist? Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Let's see. All Star Wars planets. That looks like a good one. Let's have a look. But does that look like the cupola? Looking at the Earth. Oh, it's so good. Definitely real. That's Akoto. And that's Alderaan. That's definitely. I mean, look, guys. Okay, not like. Let's play it again. Pause. Can you see the stars? There are stars that, I mean, they're not multicolored like NASA with the ISS, the poor dopes, but there are little stars. That's nice. Definitely real. That's Alderaan. Definitely a real planet because, well, it looks real. Must be real then. Then Anuat. And then Atolon. That's crappy. I mean, that's whoever did that. That's really crap. I mean, look. Let's go back a little bit more. If the sun's over there, what the heck is all this light doing over here? That's just wrong. But let's continue. Real. Again, real. Bespin. Home of Cloud City. With its moons. Look, really real. Definitely real. Because, well, it looks, well, not very real. Concord Dawn. Good gosh, look, that planet's fragmenting. Corellia. That looks like the Earth. Oh my gosh. Must be definitely real because, well, because it looks real. I mean, they haven't got any stars on this one. And then Coruscant. That looks pretty real, guys. I mean, look at all that lava. And the stars. Definitely real because you can see it right now on YouTube. So it must be real, right? Just like you can watch the ISS live on YouTube. Must be real. And then Dagobah. Definitely real. Dantooine. Definitely real, but pretty crappy looking. Dathomir. Crappy looking, but definitely real. Deveron. That looks like it was painted my math. Dakar. Definitely real. Felucia. Definitely real. Geonosis. Definitely real. Hosnian Prime. Definitely real. Look at all those scattered cities. Yeah, definitely real. Because look, the illumination and it's the Terminator, everything. Definitely real. Hoth. The cold one, you know, with the Ilum. Look at that one. That's definitely real. Iridonia. Jaco. Camino, which means path in Spanish, by the way. Kashyyyk. Definitely real, because they look real. Kessel. Definitely real. Lothal. Definitely real. Melakor. Oh, well, it must be rendered through a computer screen. Melestare. Or Meleste. Real. Mandalore. Real. They've messed up with the illumination. Meridum. Real. Mon Calamari. Mon Calamari? Are they taking the mickey? Calamari? Squid. But never mind. Real. Moorband. Real. Wrong illumination, but real. Mortis. Come on, that isn't a planet. But they're pretending like it. Mustafar. Real. Migito. Real. Naboo. Real. Nalhutta. Real. Onderon. Real. Rhodia. Real. Rusan. Real. Crappy rendering. Reloth. Real. Didn't have a name for this one. Sulust. Real. Looks real. Must be. Takodana. Real. Beautiful. Must be real. Tatooine. Splendid. Must be real. Toidaria. Must be real, because look, there's a starship arriving. Trandosha. Real. Unbara. Real. Utapau. Real. Yavin. Real. Because, like, see the stars must be real. Yavin 4. Real because they look real. Because they look real, so they must be. Huh? So Math Powerland. Why does Math Powerland get sidetracked? Sidelined. Why does he get sidelined? Why does Eric Dubay get sidelined? It's interesting, isn't it? The two biggest initiators, Math, the first iconoclast, Eric Dubay, the second iconoclast. Why do those guys get sidelined? Isn't it interesting? The two guys that started the whole thing, sidelined. That's very peculiar. So why am I paying tribute to them? Because they deserve it. Why am I paying tribute especially to Math Powerland? Because he deserves it, also because he's an artist. I happen to be an artist too. So, it feels like kudos. We're in the same guild. Why is it artists that are bringing so much to Flat Earth? Why has there been a war on art and artists? Why have they been encouraging people to paint shit? Just blocks of colours and, oh, that's great art. Why have they been encouraging that and not realism? Or even fantasy that looks so real that it looks like realism? Because when you can see something that doesn't exist and you can depict it as if it does exist, and then people talk to you and you say, oh, no, this forest doesn't really exist, I made it up. Then that can prompt the question, well, if people can make up stuff that looks like it's real, and if you weren't told by the artist that it wasn't real, you would think it was real, then your perception of what's real can be made by people who are making stuff up. But I think that the globe Earth is real. You see, that kind of thinking, you can divert it by saying, art, just swatches of colours, that's all. And that way people don't go, well, that looks like just swatches of art, just swatches of colour. Oh, globe Earth must be real because like it looks real. It matches the imagination that I have in my brain from the other pictures I saw of the globe Earth. And that's why artists, realist artists, the number has been diminishing. The value is still there, but the numbers of them is diminishing. You see, if it doesn't pay, you have to do something else that's going to pay, so you can buy food and stuff. So why concerted effort? It's an effort, it's purposeful. Why push shit YouTubers and sideline good YouTubers? Same reason. You don't want people actually thinking about the world clearly. No, you want people to think in a facile way. Now I'm going to share one more thing. Just give me a second. And I'm going to leave you. I'm going to paste a link in the chat because I'm not going to play all of it. It's long. It's complicated. And the Globelings, they'll last 3 minutes. But I'll find it and I will. Oh, I know how to find it. 1 second. Right. So, why are there so many people whose content is facile, meaningless, gibberish, just repetition? Why are those guys promoted? Here it is. Give me a second. I have it. I'm going to play a small portion of this. And then you watch it at your peril. You might want to grab pen and paper. It's not flat Earth. It's information. It's truth. So just bear with me. Pause. Okay. I'm going to paste the link in the chat. Give me a second. And then you can watch it at your leisure. See, to know how to think, to have a good ability to think, and think complex but coherent thoughts, you have to engage with complex, coherent thinking. What I'm going to show is complex and coherent. If you can't keep up with it and you give up, then that's the same as you wanting to be able to do a hard series of exercises or a complex series of moves or a complex anything and giving up because you can't quite do it on your first attempt. If instead you want to be able to do it, like maintain complex thoughts or achieve something complex, then you keep going until you can. So let me paste a link in the chat. Here's the chat. It will be hard going. There might be some of you for whom it won't. I think Gleam, I think maybe Gleam won't struggle at any point. The majority of the rest of the people, including myself, you won't take it on board easily. It's not like, oh, this is easy to digest. You're continuously trying to keep up, which is how you improve when you're training. Continuously trying to stay at that point. Right, so now let me screen share. There's the link in the chat, by the way. I'm going to only share a short section of this, and then I'm going to quit. Give me a second. Right, so we'll just open a new scene. Just bear with me a second. And those of you who can't keep up with it, or can't understand that you can't keep up with it because you haven't exercised your intellectual muscle enough and are prepared to come back, if you're prepared to come back until eventually you can absorb all of it, then brilliant. Those of you who can't, then don't bemoan other people for being more intelligent and more capable than you. Okay, so give me a second. I'm trying to find the thing. Okay. This is the war on sense making. Okay? I'm going to play just a couple of minutes so you understand the first. Well, you'll see. Just pay attention.
I think it's clear to probably most of your listeners that the things called news are mostly propaganda, narrative warfare for some agency, and that they aren't good sources of sense making. We would hope, though, that there are some sources of high signal, low noise, true information, like maybe scientific journals, like academia, science itself. I hoped this a long time ago, and I had the continuous kind of disappointment. I started being like, okay, I can't trust news to be true, because news is narrative warfare. I can't trust science without actually really looking at what was the methodology employed, how was it funded, what were the axioms that the team was using, what were the logical transforms, am I seeing all of their data or was it cherry-picked data? And as I started to kind of unfold to say, where are the high signal, low noise sources that I can offload some of the cognitive complexity of making sense of the world to, the answer is really sad, right? I don't know any sources that are very high signal and low noise across lots of areas. So then I started being like, well, why is that? And what would it take to fix that? What would it take to make a world that had an intact information ecology? Well, that requires understanding why the current information ecology is as broken as it is. And we're starting to touch on a couple things here, but this goes deep. And how do we make good choices if we don't have good sense making? Well, obviously we can't. But due to increasing technological capacity, right? Increasing population multiplied by increasing impact per person, we're making more and more consequential choices with worse and worse sense making to inform those choices, which is kind of running increasingly fast through the woods, increasingly blind, right? And so I think many of the people that you've had on Rebel Wisdom have been in a deep inquiry around how do we actually fix our own sense making, and it's some of what has brought us to have conversations with each other, because a part of how we work with our own sense making is we recognize the cognitive complexity of issues that the world faces is more than a single person can process. A single brain that can't actually hold that cognitive complexity. So it requires collective intelligence and collective sense making. But I can't just offload the cognitive complexity to some authority, because I can't trust that they're actually doing good sense making. Maybe they're doing good sense making within a very limited context, but then the application of that outside of the context is different, and maybe there's even distortions within their context. So I have to try and find other people that are also really endeavoring to sense make well, which means they have to understand what causes failures in sense making. And then we have to see, can we create relationships with each other that remove the distortion basis that is normally there. So I think from what I have seen of Rebel Wisdom, this is probably the strange attractor of what is bringing everybody to watch it, is people who are trying to make sense of the world better themselves and are trying to find sources of content of other people that have been trying to make sense of it well.
You can watch the rest in your own time. Now, I will say this as an exercise. Watch this as an exercise, okay? I will give you some pointers. Don't mind me if I give you some pointers, okay? I will use an analogy from Thai boxing, from Muay Thai. Okay, when you're training Muay Thai, if you have a good teacher, the teacher's going to tell you what the moves are, what you're looking for, okay? So, you want to catch the other person at the moment that they go from exhaling to inhaling, okay? That's when you want to catch them, because that's when you're more likely to win them. Now, so exhaling to inhaling, that change in the solar plexus, that's when you're more likely to win them. So you want to watch for that. What's going to give you a sign for that is going to be, you're going to have to case your opponent, and you're going to have to watch their markers. Okay, if they're very, very good, they're going to breathe in a way you can't really see when they're inhaling and exhaling. And if you watch MMA, you'll see this. You'll see the fighters going when they're far away from each other and when they're gassing out. Other than that, they will not show that they're breathing. Okay? Now, you're fighting someone and you want to find when they're breathing, and you can figure out from how you breathe when they're breathing, because after doing a heavy move like a big roundhouse and missing, they're going to have to breathe in. So, this is what you're looking for. That's when you strike. That's just one example. In the context of studying what I've just presented, what you want to look out for, because you're not fighting an opponent. In fact, if you are fighting an opponent, it is yourself. What you want to look out for as you're watching this is at what point you get sidetracked into clicking on anything else other than the pause to sit back and think. Other than the pause, if you click Facebook, if you click anything else, that's what you're watching for in your opponent. Remember, your opponent is a slow thinking, narrow-minded, blinkered mind. You don't want to have that mind. That's what you're looking for. So enjoy it. Enjoy listening to that as a complex, difficult exercise. Pay attention to when your inner dialogue kicks in, that he has said something and you think, oh yes, like, and you say something in your internal mind, you go, oh yes, of course, like when, da, 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 da. And whilst you're thinking that, what he has said, whilst you've been thinking that, has gone. You haven't heard it, your brain hasn't heard it and processed it. Your brain has heard what you, your inner dialogue, was saying. The rest is not there, layered, and your brain is going to separate the two. It's discarded. So when you engage with your inner dialogue, what's said is gone. You then have to stop and rewind. So pay attention to when you get sidetracked to click on something else, and pay attention to when what you're hearing is your inner dialogue instead of what the man is saying. You have the ability to listen without your inner dialogue, and you'll arrive at that point. Listen without engaging with your inner dialogue, hearing the entirety, then, when it's finished, analyzing what's been said with your inner dialogue. Because you see, the reason your inner dialogue kicks in is to give you the illusion that you're analyzing. It's the reason that the brain has been hardwired to be left-brained, to insistently want to use the analysis, the framing, the pattern searching. This is like this, this is like this. You have to stop that. So, enjoy, folks. I will see you all later. Bye.